这个故事如果你听起来不累，那么你的听力水平在生活中是完全够用的。要持续提升英文，记得点击订阅按钮。我们开始吧。
People did not fear the enemy most. They feared the thing they could not control. The ship had a name, but no one said it that night. Names felt useless at sea. The ocean did not care. The ship moved through dark water, slow and heavy. Moonlight broke on the waves. Cold air cut the skin. Every sound felt louder than it should. Boots thudded on the deck. Wood groaned with age. Salt stuck to faces. Men smelled iron, sweat, and fear. They had been sailing for weeks. Sleep came in short pieces. Dreams were thin and sharp. Below the deck waited the cannons. Long. Black. Silent. Each one rested on wooden wheels. Each one was tied with thick rope. Not one knot was careless. Every sailor knew why. A cannon was not just a weapon. It was weight. It was force. It was chaos waiting for a chance. When fixed in place, it served the crew. When free, it ruled the ship. The sea did not warn them. It never does. The wind rose without asking. Sails snapped tight. The ship leaned to one side. Men grabbed rails. A cup rolled and shattered. Then came the wave. Not the biggest. Not the last. Just the wrong one. The ship tilted hard. Ropes stretched and screamed. One rope gave up. It cracked like bone. At first, there was silence. Then a low sound. Slow. Deep. Metal against wood. A cannon moved. It rolled a few inches. Then more. The ship swayed back. The cannon answered. It picked up speed. Iron wheels bit into the deck. Someone shouted. Another man froze. The cannon slammed into a beam. The beam split. Wood flew. A man was thrown aside. The cannon did not stop. It did not know fear. It did not know friend from foe. It followed the motion of the sea. Left. Right. Down the length of the deck. A sailor tried to run past it. He slipped. The cannon passed where his chest had been. He lived because he fell. Another man was not so lucky. The iron struck his leg. There was a sound no one forgets. He screamed once. Then the scream broke. Blood spread across the deck. The ship kept moving. The cannon kept rolling. This was the terror, not the enemy ship, not the gunfire. This was worse, because this danger wore their own colors. Men rushed forward, then pulled back. No one wanted to be brave in the wrong second. The cannon hit the wall again. The wall cracked inward. The deck shook like it might split. Water poured through a seam. The ship groaned. The sea pressed closer. At last, 3 men moved together. They waited for the roll. They jumped in after it passed. Hands burned on wet rope. Boots slid. One man lost his grip. Another held fast. They threw ropes around the cannon. The ship leaned again. The cannon pulled like a living thing. Knots tightened. Ropes strained. With one final slam, the cannon stopped. No cheer followed. Only breath. Hard. Fast. Broken. The wounded man was carried away. The deck was scarred. Blood mixed with salt. The sea moved on, calm again, as if nothing had happened. That night, no one slept. In the days after, the story spread. Sailors talked in low voices. They pointed at the cannons. They checked knots twice. Then 3 times. A loose cannon, they said, was the worst thing aboard a ship. It did not need hate. It did not need aim. It only needed motion. The words stayed alive. They sailed from port to port. They walked into taverns. They crossed oceans without ships. Years passed. Ships grew larger. Cannons changed. But the phrase remained. A loose cannon became a kind of person. Someone with power. Someone with no pause. Someone who spoke before thinking. Someone who acted while others still weighed the cost. They were not villains. Often, they cared deeply. They felt things fast. Anger. Joy. Pride. Fear. At work, you know the type. They interrupt meetings. They send the email no one reviewed. They say the truth with no soft edge. Sometimes it fixes things. Sometimes it breaks the room. In families, they are louder. They love hard. They fight harder. They say words that cannot be taken back. Later, they feel the damage. They say sorry. They mean it. There is calm for a while. Then life tilts again. Another wave. Another roll. Here's what most people miss. A cannon exists for a reason. In battle, it matters. In danger, it saves lives. A controlled cannon protects the ship. An aimed shot ends a threat. The problem is not the cannon. The problem is when no one secures it. Old sailors learned balance. They did not fear power. They respected it. They tied it down. They checked it daily. And here is the quiet truth. The loose cannon is not always someone else. It can be you. On a long day. When sleep is short. When pressure builds. When one small wave feels too big. A sharp word leaves your mouth. A choice is made too fast. The moment passes. The damage stays. We all carry iron inside us. We all roll when life tilts. The sea is never flat forever. So learn the old lesson. Check your ropes. Know your weight. Pause before you move. You do not need to hide your power. You only need to guide it. Because every life is a ship. Every heart holds a cannon. And control is what keeps us afloat.
能以非母语者的身份专注学习到现在，这本身就是很棒的进步。真诚感谢你的观看。如果你觉得本期内容实用，点赞或留言让我知道你的想法，这对我持续创作非常重要。我们下期见。